Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hi everybody, welcome in, welcome in. If you're new here, welcome, happy to see ya. If you're a returning gazer, hi guys, hope you guys are doing great. Thanks for being here. This reading is a collective reading for whoever, whenever, wherever. If there's something that resonates with you, take that. If it doesn't, leave it for someone else. All right, we ask for messages for our greatest and highest good. Wow. Hardly shuffled, got the Queen of Swords popping out with the Four of Wands. I'm hearing telling it like it is. You know, being forthright is going to bring, I heard clearance, celebration, right? It's going to bring people together. There could be an announcement that's being made at a gathering. Let's get some more info. Five of Wands. Oof, not everyone is going to love this, but a lot of people will. We've got the Five of Wands and the Page of Wands, which is really interesting. Really interesting because 4 plus this page is this 5. Let's get some more information. The ancestor spirits guides for the greatest and highest good of those watching. At the Hierophant out and the Moon. Oof, now we're getting 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords. And Judgment. Wow, 8 of Pentacles. This has to do with something you've been working on, okay? It either has to do with work or something that you've put a lot of time and effort into, right? This is practice, this is replication, this is stability, right? Getting it right, doing it over and over and over until you've got it perfect, down pat. I heard down pat. See how he's working in the field, he's tilling the soil. It's something that you're producing that is of worth and value. And again, something that can be replicated. Let's go back to this. We start with the Queen of Swords in the upper corner here. We've got 9 cards out. The Queen of Swords is air energy, right? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. She's very thoughtful. She's very, very, very smart. She's the queen of communications. The things that she's learned and the things that she's sharing are, again, hard-won battles, right? Things that she's earned through her experience. Some people might consider her cold or jaded, but I don't think it's necessarily that as much as the intellectual mind to overrules, in this case, the heart. The logic is here, the rationale, the things that we need to think about and need to be said, right? And that's coming right above the Page of Wands. Talk about communication, talk about sharing news, right? And it could be something that could or could not be true, right? There's some things being shed and shared. Interesting. I heard shed and shared. So again, if it's for you, take it. If not, leave it for someone else. 4 of Wands energy next to this Queen of Swords. The top row is the Queen of Swords. Try to pick it up here. So the Queen of Swords, the 4 of Wands, and then the 5 of Wands. You see what I'm saying? There's like this news that's being brought in that's causing some sort of maybe competition. Maybe it's bringing up a little bit of an argument for argument's sake. Right in the center, the Hierophant. We've just entered Taurus season. This is Taurus energy. It talks about rules, institutions, established ideas, right? There's a lot of power in this card. This is churches, and religious institutions, governmental institutions, schools, right? It's things that are established that kind of lay the law, lay the rules, lay the establishment, right? What it is that we're supposed to follow. And it's like everyone is kind of subject to this in a way because it's like those societal norms that keep everybody in a certain mindset, a certain belief system, right? And under that is the 5 of Swords. We have the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. It's like that pettiness after something has come through that may or may not be true. I don't feel like it is true. It's causing a lot of arguments. Now the competition is real stiff. Now people are really, really working I heard at it. So, this could be that there's some competition for something that you've been working on, and the announcement of it is celebrated by some, but brings in on that competitive nature. There could be something established that is I heard sponsoring it. It's kind of like changing the rules of the game. Interesting. We also have the Moon out here, right? So it's like the 5 of Wands is above the Moon. things we can't see, things that we're unaware of, things that still need to come to the light. There's a lot of confusion here, kind of, again, feeling our way through, which isn't the energy of the Queen of Swords. She lets go of those emotional things, and sometimes it's hard to be logical and rational when we don't have all of the information, right? Or people are kind of muddying that water with their petty arguments with like, when I say petty, I mean it's not that big of a deal, kind of even trivial, right? Like, does it really matter that much? It's really, there's a judgment call. Something is being decided, right? There's definitely this, I heard confrontation, like this confrontation of this, and somebody is like laying down the rules and saying this is what's going to be allowed through and what's not going to be allowed through. Let's get some yeah, it's like, what are we revisiting? When this news comes in, it really causes a shakeup. And ooh, let's get some clarifiers before we see much more. 555 on the clock. All right, ancestors, spirits, guides, tell us about this Queen of Swords. 5 of Spirals. It's a 5 of Wands out twice. All these fives, as I say, 555, and we pull a 5, right? There's the communication about these truths and what is important and what isn't important, again, and maybe being logical about the importance or like how much weight each thing has, right? And really being kind of cold and precise. It's really interesting because the Queen of Swords is very cold energy, and then we have this dragon out here, right? Who's like spitting fireballs, very hot. And there's like this hot-headed feeling, and maybe through this logic's trying to like calm some of that down. Let's go across the top row here. Tell me about this 4 of Wands, please. 2, 3 of Stones, 3 of Spirals. Wow, now we got 3, 3, 3. So in the front row, we've got 2 3s, a 4, and 2 5s now. And these go with this 4 of Wands. It's like, ooh, this is like celebratory energy, like worked really long time, really, really hard on something, waiting for those ships to come in, right? Getting everybody together to celebrate this. Again, big boss energy coming out here. And I think that maybe sometimes when something comes out that's so good and solid and works so well, that it does raise a level of suspicion amongst the competitors, right? Because what's being seen here is like there's this level of teamwork and professionalism. There's this level of gathering here and happiness. And it's like from the 3 to the 4, right? The 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, waiting for that ship to come in. It's almost like this gathering around of people who want to hear what it is that you have to say. Talk to me about this 5 of Wands, please, Spirit. What is this 5 of Wands? This is coming up twice here. What is this strong energy? Look, what's trying to come out? Wow. The Empress, again, another 3, another 7 of Swords, and the 9 of Swords here, 9 of Scrolls. There's worriness. There's worrying about this, right? Someone might not be being completely honest with this Empress energy, with this maternal big boss energy, the person who is the creator, the person who is the designer, the manifester. And it's starting to worry someone here. All of these 3s, all of this creation is related to this Empress energy. And it's like people are bringing their arguments to her, and there's definitely, again, some backhanded seediness happening here that's causing a lot of stress and anxiety. Stand firm in your Empress energy, male or female, it doesn't matter. Stand firm in that you are the creator of abundance, this beautiful thing. It could be like somebody's lying to mom here. What is that about? Or mom's not telling the truth. Take that as it resonates. Doesn't necessarily have to be your mom. It could be, again, the matriarchal figure. She's tied in here. It has to do with her creations, with her approval, right? I'm not calling her the bad guy in everybody's situation. Again, it could be people not being honest with her to maybe sway this competition. She's the one in charge. It's kind of like the mom watching the kids play, and the kids are kind of causing issues, not telling her the truth, and it's causing a lot of anxiety. Like, how do I resolve this kind of energy here? Page of Wands. What is this news that's causing all this hubbub? What is this? This is enthusiastic, again, childlike, kind of immature, kind of not knowing yet, but very inspired, very quick moving. And it does mean news coming through. So many repeated cards coming out. For this, we also got two. We got the Hierophant. The Hierophant and the King of Scrolls now. It says the poet, right? It talks about expression, so much expression going on. That child, the divine child, look how she's painting, he or she, it doesn't matter. It's about the creation. It's about the feeling of security and knowing that what we are putting our time, effort, energy into is going to like be there for the long haul and create comfort, right? And again, there's this logic here, the King of Swords, decision making, rule making, right? Someone coming in that again is communicating. This person is about the facts. And the poet, right? Clear communication and being able to say things in a way that everybody kind of understands the overtones and undertones. This could be publishing houses. This again could be professors at schools. This is somebody teaching something, bringing the facts, bringing the knowledge. And again, it's backed by institutions, governmental institutions, schools. This really feels like somebody who has the power and the know-how, and they're the ones bringing in the news. Tell us about this Hierophant, please. Tell us about this Hierophant, center of everything. That's it. Okay. Temperance. Lots of major arcana. Big, big deals. Sagittarius energy. Look at how these are talking to each other. Look at all this stuff around him. Look at all this stuff. This is good luck. But again, that higher level of education, right? Sagittarius is Jupiter. That's higher education, expansion, know-how, spirituality, good luck, right? All of those things at 1133 being brought to us by balancing out those things that don't seem like they should mix together well, right? By keeping ourselves balanced and being patient with this very slow moving energy. And again, there's this idea of like higher education, higher knowing, someone sharing something, greater knowledge. You know, this could be like, is this idea coming out on top? What is the curriculum changing? Is the idea of what we're supposed to be doing here changing? How do we mesh all of these things together with this new information that's being brought in? I heard new rules are being made. We have this judgment, we'll get to it. But first we need to know about the moon, the things that are hidden, the things that aren't being able to be seen. I heard unseen, can't be seen. All right, this intuitive knowing, it's like wandering around through the water in the dark. What is this? Put there to stop us up. The Seven of Swords coming out twice with the devil energy and the moon. This is like somebody purposely hiding information, somebody keeping somebody in a bad contract, to keep them stuck from being able to see the light here. This is Capricornian energies. Wow. So now let's just go through it real quick. We have a lot of Taurus energy out, right? We have the Hierophant out twice, and we have the Empress, which is Taurus and Libra. We have the Judgment card, which is fire, Scorpio, and then now we have the Cancer Pisces card, this water energy with the moon and Capricorn. So there's a lot of big deals. What's up, Hydrox? The cat's meowing, right? The cat's meow. Be careful of things that are tempting. See how it almost looks like this magic is coming out of their little finger here? Like they're just like waving this wand and making things, again, muddying the water, making things confusing for their own means and ends to maybe keep, because this last row is like kind of really intense here. Seven of Swords, Five of Swords, Judgment. And it could be that we're appealing to a higher source, right? A higher establishment in order to uncover and reveal or protect ourselves from some of these things that are going on, right? Because there's blockages being put in the way by this Seven of Swords energy. Somebody's coming in to steal those swords in the middle of the night. And it gets even weirder now because we have the Seven of Swords and the Two of Scrolls, right? Two of Swords, that blockage, that not having enough information to fully be able to see what's going on. So our way is unclear. You take that 2 and you subtract it from that 7, and you wind up with this winning at all costs, this argument for argument's sake, this backbiting, backstabbing, very harsh energy coming down. And it's like, and the Hierophant's also a 5. Keep that in mind. This changes freedom from this. Tell me, okay, so the Seven of Swords, some kind of underhandedness that's put in place to block to block this. Wow. Nice. What the heck? Now they're all mixed up, so they won't all be in the upright anymore. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Muddy the water, make things strange, keep things from being able to be seen clearly, put those blockages in our path. Somebody really, really wants to make chaos. What is this Five of Swords? Spirit, tell us about this Five of Swords, please. Wow. And again, now they're all in the reverse. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep them in the upright since all the other ones have been read in the upright. The Sun, all will be revealed. The Artist, Queen of Stones. The Weaver, Queen of Scrolls, Queen of Swords. At 1555. I'm hearing ain't nobody gonna keep us down. Oh no, got to keep on moving. Got to keep on moving. These creations, these things that you're weaving, right? Bringing light to that, bringing light to what has been done and what is being expressed, what is being said, what is being created, what is being shared. Light is brought to this. I heard who's really doing this. And I don't think it means who's really doing this as in the treachery. I think that's probably obvious. What's less obvious, queen energy, background energy, who's actually creating these wonderful things? Who actually did all of this work, right? What is it that was done that wove it into the fabric of the being that it is now? The thing that it will be again in the future. And what has been created from that and for that. And again, this Queen of Swords coming out twice now. Queen of Pentacles energy, Earth energy, Taurus energy, right? And the sun being shined on that this isn't, it's almost like these energies want to work communally and get things done, mixing things together in a way that is prosperous, peaceful, patient, kind, and wonderful for everyone, and sharing that information, broadening the horizons, right? Sharing that information of what has been created. Here is that energy. Leo energy. Wow. Okay. So now we're at the bottom of it. What's the judgment? What is the judgment? The Fool. Look. The end is the beginning. The new Merlin. Creator. Bringing in that new. Aries energy, Aquarius energy, leading the pack into the future. Right? And not going back to something that was treacherous, not going back to the way things were before, starting I heard a whole new ball game. All right. And not revisiting things that obviously didn't work in the past. This is really, coming out clean, coming out on top. 8 of Spirals on the bottom, talked about that communication. 8 on the bottom here. Again, the 9 of Swords underneath that. What's underneath this one? The Wheel. Damn, guys, look at that. More Jovian energy. This is all Sagittarius energy. Good luck. Moving forward. Really changing the game. Right. Ooh, let's get some details. Ancestor spirits. In Aquarius. Aquarius coming from my face is really itchy. Genius to experiment with. And again, smart. Highly intelligent. Queen of Swords twice. King of Swords, the Hierophant. Sagittarius. I don't know how many Sagittarians you know, but they are brilliant. Brilliant fire signs. Beautiful, beautiful people, right? And they are curious. Vivaciously curious. It wants us to adapt that. We have all 3 fire signs out on the board. Yes, Judgment, right, is fire. We've got Merlin, which is Aries. We've got the Sun, which is Leo. We've got Temperance, right? Doesn't matter if you're a fire sign or not. Feel the burn, feel the flame, right? That genius to experiment with. Let this air energy fuel that fire, right? The discoveries of, again, the discoveries. What will you discover? I feel like you've already discovered something. You've been working really, really hard at it. You're ready to present it to the world. You're ready to bring it out there, and somebody's like trying to pull that rug out from underneath of you. Somebody's trying to go in here and make a mess of things, maybe give disinformation, maybe put up blockages, maybe steal your ability to move forward. But you have pressed on because you know that the work is worth it. You know that you are worth it. People know that too, that the logic is here, that the smarts are here, and that this is what is going to be taught in the future. And the devil energy with the moon energy, of course, doesn't want that because it enjoys toxicity and it reaps a harvest from the confusion. And so it's starting a lot of crap here, but that will not be tolerated, right? It will be discovered, it will be undone, and there will be communications about this. The wheel is turning, luck is coming to you, resulting from the eccentricity because you dared to be different. You dared to show them your way. You dared to reveal your discoveries. And boy, was that a smart thing to do. Okay? And of course, there's always going to be this kind of confrontation and worry and hubbub when something is really worth it and valuable. And that becomes, kind of a threat to the devil energy, kind of a threat to people who are harvesting off of the chaos, look at this. Saturn, the maturity that it brings. We have to be grown-ups about this. You're definitely being a grown-up about this and consulting and resulting in the way that adults handle things, the mature way of handling things, caution regarding not stepping in the pile, right? And limits imposed by. So the Saturn energy is this Capricorn energy, right? It's the ruling planet of Capricorn. And it talks about the restrictions and the rules, constrictions, right? Things that we're obligated to. And it is that father energy, the imposition of the patriarchal rule, like what is our structure, what is required of us. And sometimes those rules have to be changed or evolved to suit new situations, right? And so those limits that are imposed are not timely anymore. And the new is going to change that. And that's what's happening here. It's very interesting because Saturn is also the traditional leading ruler of Aquarius. And it's about that expansion and generational going out into the eccentricity of being way out there and seeing the future from a position that isn't seen yet by people who haven't reached that point. It's up to you to show them that is a possibility. Third house, making the right connections. And again, it does talk about making the right connections with the people. There's a community of people here. There's some adult people who know their business and know their shit. All right, and they're helping in this situation here, the idea in question. It's a great idea. It says, get your ideas going. They want to be able to help move this forward. And again, we have to get these blockages out. So this devil and moon energy, this muddied water energy, this raising the confusion because somebody's being treacherous in the background, all of that is being addressed, right, to help these ideas move through and move forward. Look, 12th house, right? It's the house of hidden enemies, Piscean energy. It says your faith, hidden tendencies in large institutions or overwhelming events. And in this case, I think that the rules, and the people who are backing you up are here for your sake, to help you out. I know that's not always the case, but in this case, it really is, especially if it has to do with your work. There's some rules, some regulations, some, I heard bureaucracy, which is actually on your side right now. And there's some, hidden tendencies. There's some things that are hidden in the dark that these other things are going to help rectify, right? These institutions, these people in power, these rules, they're going to help rectify these things so that the judgment can be called and the new can be done pure and free without the I heard distillation. Oof, take that how that resonates. Look, Pluto, resurrect, get to the heart of do or die, you must. This is like a make it or break it situation. And I feel like because of the tendencies of the things involved here, the implications of the things involved here, we want that to that work and benefit is wanted to continue, and the other thing needs to stop. Right? So it's this must happen in order for the correct thing to keep going, and the incorrect, the not so great thing to have a kibosh, like completely finished. Ganesha, what would you like to tell us? Wholeness. Innocence. And innocence came out in the reverse, but I don't tend to read these in the reverse. There's this positive outlook and generosity. Yeah, don't let this thing get you jaded, get you down. Don't let it take parts of your soul bits away, right? The positive outlook on this is that you are worthy, and there is potential in this, great potential in this, and others see it too. And keep don't let these other things get you down, because that's part of how they're trying to block you, right? It's all in the mental realm. So those spaces need to be cleared out and kept clear by having by having faith, right? Your faith. The ancestor spirits, guides. What is this about? What should respect? Respect for you, respect for others. And I think, like I said, people have a lot of respect for you, your work, and what you've done to go through all of this. And that I'm noticing is also an 8, right? 26. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us here? Help, yeah. Assistance is being offered to you in the background. It just wants you, people have a lot of respect for you. They want to offer you their help. And look, messages of freedom. Again, that 555 coming through, and a message to pass on. So again, these things that these lessons that you've learned, this information, this thing that you've been working on needs to get out there into the world so that everyone can benefit from it. And that is known. It is known. And you're going to get help with that. You're going to get a lot of help with that from the right people. So just keep your faith, all right? And don't let any of this stuff get to you. All right, ancestors, spirits, guys, I'm going to pull a rune. Would you like us to know? Close up this reading. Hunjo, it's joy, you guys. I'm hearing, I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart to stay. And then I'm also hearing like Ren and Stimpy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. And it's number 12. Number 12. In the upright. This rune, let me see if I can get it without the ring light. Ooh, it's a P, okay? It's a P. This rune is a fruit-bearing branch. The term of travail is ended, and you have come to yourself in some regard. The shift that was due has occurred, and you can now freely receive its blessings, whether they be in material gain, or in your emotional life, or in a heightened sense of your own well-being. This is an alchemical moment in which understanding is transmuted from knowledge. The knowledge itself was necessary, but not sufficient condition. Now you can rejoice, having been carried across the gap by the will of heaven. Joyousness accompanies new energy, energy blocked before now. Light pierces the clouds and touches the waters, just as something lovely emerges from the depths. The soul is illuminated from within at the meeting place of heaven and earth, the meeting of the waters. There is a new clarity, which might call for you to renounce existing plans, ambitions, and goals. It is proper and timely for you to submit, for Wunjo is the rune of restoration of the self, properly aligned to the self. You go get it. That's what I'm saying. The light is here. The self properly aligned to the self. The blockages that were put in the way are now lifted so that you can go rejoice in the happiness of it. All right. If you are not feeling this yet, you will be. Embrace it. Claim this energy. It is wonderful. It feels so good. All right. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit like and subscribe. And thanks for coming back and seeing us again next time. Bye.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.